Have you ever wondered how your words shape your reality? This isn't mere philosophy or whimsical musing. It's a profound truth that has been explored by thinkers and spiritual guides throughout history. Florence Scovel Shinn, a notable figure in this field, penned the inspiring work, Your Word is Your Wand, which dives into the power of words in shaping our reality. You see, words are not just a means of communication. They are potent tools that can shape our experiences, mold our perceptions, and influence our actions. They are the architects of our reality. Each word we utter is like a brick, and with every statement we construct the edifice of our lives. But here's the catch. Like any tool, words can be used to build or to destroy. They can empower us, manifesting our deepest desires into reality, or they can limit us, erecting walls of fear and insecurity around our potential. The difference lies in how we wield this tool. Consider this. When we express gratitude, we amplify the good in our lives. We attract positivity and in turn experience more reasons to be thankful. This isn't just a feel-good ideology, but a principle rooted in the law of attraction. Gratitude is a word, a sentiment, and it carries the power to shape our reality. On the flip side, when we consistently use words of lack, limitation, or fear, we inadvertently construct a reality that mirrors these sentiments. We become entangled in a self-fulfilling prophecy of negativity. This is the power of words at play. Florence Scovel Shinn understood this well. In Your Word is Your Wand, she encourages us to use our words as wands, casting spells of success, abundance, and well-being. This is not about magic or illusions, but about conscious creation. It's about using words to align with our highest good and manifest our desires into reality. So it all starts with the words we speak, but how do we use them to attain success and abundance in life? The key lies in understanding and applying these four principles: law of attraction, law of prosperity, law of non-resistance, and law of forgiveness. Now let us begin our exploration of these principles. The law of attraction, a principle as old as time itself, tells us that like attracts like. It's the idea that our thoughts, feelings, and actions create a kind of magnetic field, drawing experiences and circumstances of a similar nature to us. Picture it as a cosmic echo, where what we send out into the universe bounces back to us. Then comes the law of prosperity. This principle asks us to shift our focus from lack to abundance, to appreciate the blessings we already have. It's a reminder that gratitude is the key to unlocking prosperity. When we are grateful for what we have, we create a space for more abundance to flow into our lives. Now let's talk about the law of non-resistance. This principle is about surrendering, letting go of the need to struggle or fight against the currents of life. It's about understanding that sometimes the best way to navigate life's challenges is to relax and allow the flow to guide us. Just like a leaf floating in a stream, we too can move with grace and ease. Lastly, we have the law of forgiveness. This principle encourages us to release resentment and grudges. It's about understanding that forgiveness is not just about the other person, but also about freeing ourselves from the shackles of past pain. When we forgive, we create room for love, peace, and joy to enter our lives. These four principles, attraction, prosperity, non-resistance, and forgiveness, are not just laws. They are the cornerstones of a fulfilling life. They are the compass by which we can navigate our journey, guiding us towards a life of abundance, peace, and joy. Now that we've introduced these principles, let's delve deeper into each one. Firstly, the law of attraction, which states that we attract into our lives what we focus on. This principle holds that our thoughts, both conscious and subconscious, dictate the reality we experience. If you dwell on positivity, you're likely to attract positive experiences and opportunities. Conversely, if your mind is consumed with negative thoughts, you'll likely attract negative circumstances. Consider the law of attraction as a magnet, drawing towards you the essence of what you focus on. For example, if you continually dream about traveling the world, and you pour energy into that vision with absolute belief, you're likely to manifest opportunities that bring you closer to that dream. But here's the catch. The law of attraction also applies when we focus on things we don't want. If you're constantly worried about debt or failure, your mind is focused on lack and loss, and that's precisely what you'll attract. It's not that the universe is cruel, It's simply responding to the energy you're putting out. This principle is not about wishful thinking or magic. It's about aligning your thoughts with your actions. It's about believing in your dreams with such conviction that you take steps to make them a reality. Remember, our thoughts are powerful. They shape our perspectives, influence our actions, and consequently create our reality. When we understand this, we can use the law of attraction to our advantage. We can consciously choose to focus on positivity, on abundance, on success. We can visualize the life we desire, believe in it wholeheartedly, and take action to manifest it. So, the law of attraction isn't about getting everything you want just by thinking about it. It's about setting your mind on what you desire, believing in it, and then working towards it with unwavering faith. It's about knowing that the universe is abundant and that you are deserving of that abundance. So, the energy you put out is the energy you get back. Let's see how this ties in with the next principle. Next, we have the law of prosperity. This law emphasizes that abundance flows into our lives when we focus on our blessings with gratitude. Let's explore this principle in depth. The law of prosperity is not just about material wealth. It's about an abundance of happiness, health, love, and peace. It's about recognizing and appreciating the wealth of blessings we already have. The universe is like a generous benefactor, always ready to bestow us with gifts. But here's the catch: we must be ready to receive. And how do we prepare ourselves? By cultivating an attitude of gratitude. Gratitude is the key that unlocks the door to unlimited abundance. When we express thankfulness for what we already have, we are sending a clear message to the universe that we are ready for more. It's like saying, I am grateful for all the blessings I have, and I am open to receive more. Gratitude also shifts our focus from what we lack to what we possess, from scarcity to abundance. This shift in perspective is powerful. It transforms our mindset, our energy, and ultimately, our reality. But gratitude is not just about saying thank you. It's about genuinely feeling it in our hearts. It's about cherishing the people in our lives, valuing our health, appreciating our skills, and acknowledging our achievements. It's about finding joy in the simple things and being content with what we have while aspiring for more. So how can we practice this law in our daily lives? Start your day with a gratitude practice. As you wake up each morning, before your feet touch the ground, think of 3 things you are grateful for. This simple practice can set the tone for the day, inviting positivity and abundance. Remember, the law of prosperity is not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's a lifestyle, a mindset. It's about understanding that we live in an abundant universe and that abundance is our birthright. When we express gratitude, we invite prosperity. But what happens when we resist life's flow? This brings us to the third principle. The law of non-resistance teaches us to let go of resistance and allow life to flow. Imagine a river, its current unyielding, insistent. The water does not resist its path. It doesn't argue with the rocks that stand in its way or the branches that fall into its course. Instead, it navigates around them, over them, under them, always moving forward. That, in essence, is the law of non-resistance. We often struggle against life's currents, trying to impose our will, our path, our timeline. But like a river that meets an obstacle, resistance creates turbulence, stress, and struggle. It's when we resist that life becomes a battle rather than a journey. But what if we took a cue from the river? What if we let go of our resistance, our insistence on control, and instead allowed life to flow naturally? That is the essence of the law of non-resistance. It's about letting go of the struggle, releasing our need for control, and trusting in the process of life. When we stop resisting, we open ourselves to opportunities. We become receptive to the ebb and flow of life, and we allow ourselves to be carried along by its current. This doesn't mean we become passive or stop taking action. Rather, it means we act from a place of trust and acceptance, not fear or resistance. Remember, life doesn't happen to us, it happens for us. Each challenge, each setback is an opportunity for growth, a chance to learn, to adapt, to become stronger. When we let go of resistance, we align ourselves with this process. We become part of the flow. In the grand tapestry of life, each thread has a purpose, each twist and turn a meaning. The law of non-resistance invites us to trust in this process, to let go and allow life to weave its magic. To truly let go and move forward, however, we must practice the final principle. Lastly, the law of forgiveness involves releasing grudges and resentment to make room for growth. This principle is all about clearing away the clutter of past hurts and disappointments to create a welcoming environment for new experiences and opportunities. Let's take a moment to reflect on the power of forgiveness. When we harbor resentment, we're tethered to the past, and this emotional baggage weighs us down. It's like lugging around a heavy suitcase wherever we go. But imagine what it would feel like to set that suitcase down to let it go. That's what forgiveness feels like. It's a release, a liberation. Forgiveness, however, is not a one-time act. It's a continuous process, a daily commitment. Each day, we need to choose forgiveness over resentment, understanding over anger. It's not about condoning the actions of those who've wronged us, but about releasing ourselves from the burden of those past hurts. It's important to remember that forgiveness extends to ourselves as well. Often, we're our own toughest critics. We berate ourselves for past mistakes and missed opportunities. But to truly flourish, we need to forgive ourselves, to acknowledge that we're human and that it's okay to make mistakes. Now, you might be wondering, how does forgiveness tie into prosperity? Well, when we forgive, we create space. Space for new experiences, new people, new opportunities. We invite positivity and abundance into our lives. We open ourselves up to the flow of the universe, to the endless possibilities that lie ahead. So the next time you find yourself holding on to a grudge or dwelling on a past mistake, remember the law of forgiveness. Remember the freedom and growth that comes with letting go. Challenge yourself to forgive, to release that heavy suitcase, and watch as your life begins to transform. By practicing forgiveness, we free ourselves from the chains of the past and open the door to a prosperous future. Now you may be wondering, how can I apply these principles in my everyday life? Well, let's dive right in and explore how to make these principles work for you. For the law of attraction, start by incorporating positive affirmations into your daily routine. These affirmations are like seeds planted in your mind, and with time, they blossom into realities. You could say something as simple as, I am attracting success and prosperity. Remember, your words are your wand. Use them wisely. Now let's move on to the law of prosperity. This law encourages us to focus on our blessings with gratitude. So make it a habit to express gratitude every day. It could be for the simplest things like a sunny day or a good meal. Expressing gratitude shifts your focus from what's lacking to the abundance that's already in your life. Next, we have the law of non-resistance. This law is all about accepting change and letting life flow. So when you find yourself resisting a situation or a change, remind yourself to go with the flow. Acceptance doesn't mean you agree with everything. It just means you're choosing not to struggle against the current of life. Lastly, we have the law of forgiveness. It's about releasing grudges and resentment. This might require some practice, especially if the hurt runs deep. But remember, forgiveness is more for you than for the other person. So every day, make a conscious effort to forgive someone, even if it's yourself. The beauty of these principles is that they can be woven into the fabric of your everyday life. They don't require you to make drastic changes. Instead, they invite you to shift your perspective, to choose positivity, gratitude, acceptance, and forgiveness. So start today. Use your words to create the life you desire. Be grateful for your blessings. Embrace the flow of life and practice forgiveness. Remember, the key to success and abundance lies in your hands, or rather, in your words. Before we wrap up, let's quickly recap the key points we discussed today. We've journeyed through the 4 principles that Florence Scovel Shinn believed were integral to a life of abundance and success. Firstly, the law of attraction, which states that we draw into our lives what we put out into the universe. What we focus on grows. Secondly, the law of prosperity, which teaches us to focus on our blessings with gratitude, allowing the flow of abundance. The third principle, the law of non-resistance, encourages us to let go of resistance, to not fight against what is, but rather allow life to flow naturally. Finally, the law of forgiveness, which enlightens us about the importance of releasing grudges and resentment, to forgive others and ourselves for true inner peace. Incorporating these principles into our daily lives can shape our reality, bringing us closer to our goals. So, speak your reality into existence. Embrace abundance, go with the flow, and forgive to move forward. The power is in your words.